Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava.
And now Chapter 12, the topics of Shrimad Bhagavatam summarized. Sutta Goswami said, offering my obeisances to the supreme religious principle, devotional service, to Lord Krishna, the supreme creator, and to all the Brahmins, I shall now describe the eternal principles of religion. O great sages, I have narrated to you the wonderful pastimes of Lord Vishnu, as you inquired about them from me. Hearing such narrations is the suitable engagement for a person who is actually a human being. This literature fully glorifies the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who removes all his devotees' sinful reactions. The Lord is glorified as Narayan, Rishikesh, and the Lord of the Sattvatas. This literature describes the mystery of the Supreme Absolute Truth, the source of the creation and annihilation of this universe. Also presented are divine knowledge of Him, together with the process of its cultivation and the transcendental realization one achieves. The following topics are also narrated. The process of devotional service, together with its subsidiary feature of renunciation, and the histories of Maharaj Pariksit and the sage Narad. Also described are saintly King Parikshit sitting down to fast until death in response to the curse of a Brahmin's son, and the conversations between Parikshit and Shukdev Goswami, who is the best of all Brahmins. The Bhagavatam explains how one can attain liberation at the time of death by practicing fixed meditation in yoga. It also contains a discussion between Narad and Brahma, an enumeration of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a description of how the universe was created in progressive sequence, beginning from the unmanifest stage of material nature. This scripture also relates the discussions Vidura had with Uddhava and with Maitreya, inquiries about the subject matter of this Purana, and the winding up of creation within the body of the Supreme Lord at the time of annihilation. The creation effected by the agitation of the modes of material nature, the 7 stages of evolution by elemental transformation, and the construction of the universal egg, from which arises the universal form of the Supreme Lord, all these are thoroughly described. Other topics include the subtle and gross movements of time, the generation of the lotus from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and the killing of the demon Hiranyaksha when the earth was delivered from the Garbhodak ocean. The Bhagavatam also describes the creation of demigods, animals, and demoniac species of life, the birth of Lord Rudra, and the appearance of Swayambhuva Manu from the half-man, half-woman Ishvara. Also related are the appearance of the first woman, Shatarupa, who was the excellent consort of Manu and the offspring of the pious wives of Prajapati Kardama. The Bhagavatam describes the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the exalted sage Kapila, and records the conversation between that greatly learned soul and his mother Devahuti. Also described are the progeny of the 9 great Brahmins, the destruction of Daksha's sacrifice, and the history of Dhruva Maharaj, followed by the histories of King Prithu and King Prachinabhati, the discussion between Prachinabhati and Narad, and the life of Maharaj Priyavrata. Then, O Brahmins, the Bhagavatam tells of the character and activities of King Nabi, Lord Rishabha, and King Bharata. The Bhagavatam gives an elaborate description of the earth's continents, regions, oceans, mountains, and rivers. Also described are the arrangement of the celestial sphere and the conditions found in the subterranean regions and in hell. The rebirth of Prajapati Daksha as the son of the Prachetas, and the progeny of Daksha's daughters, who initiated the races of demigods, demons, human beings, animals, serpents, birds, and so on, all this is described. O Brahmins, also recounted are the births and deaths of Vritrasura and of Diti's sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, as well as the history of the greatest of Diti's descendants, the exalted soul, Prahlad. The reign of each Manu, the liberation of Gajendra, and the special incarnations of Lord Vishnu in each Manvantara, such as Lord Hayashirsha, are described as well. The Bhagavatam also tells of the appearances of the Lord of the universe as Kurma, Matsya, Narasingha, and Vamana, and of the demigods churning of the milk ocean to obtain nectar. An account of the great battle fought between the demigods and the demons, a systematic description of the dynasties of various kings, and narrations concerning Ikshvaku's birth, his dynasty, and the dynasty of the pious Sudyumna are all presented within this literature. Also related are the histories of Ila and Tara, and the description of the descendants of the sun god, including such kings as Shashada and Riga. The histories of Sukanya, Sharyati, the intelligent Kukutsta, Kadvanga, Mandhata, Sobari, and Sagara are narrated. The Bhagavatam narrates the sanctifying pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, the king of Koshala, and also explains how King Nimi abandoned his material body. The appearance of the descendants of King Janak is also mentioned. The Shrimad Bhagavatam describes how Lord Parashuram, the greatest descendant of Bhrigu, annihilated all the Kshatriyas on the face of the earth. It further recounts the lives of glorious kings who appeared in the dynasty of the moon god, kings such as Aila, Yayati, Nahusha, Dushmanta's son Bharat, Shantanu, and Shantanu's son Bhishma. Also described is the great dynasty founded by King Yadu, the eldest son of Yayati. How Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Lord of the Universe, descended into this Yadu dynasty, how he took birth in the home of Vasudeva, and how he then grew up in Gokul, all this is described in detail. Also glorified are the innumerable pastimes of Sri Krishna, the enemy of the demons, including his childhood pastimes of sucking the breast milk of Putana along with her life heir, breaking the cart, trampling down Trinarvata, killing Bakasura, Vatsasura, and Agasura, and the pastimes he enacted when Lord Brahma hid his calves and cowherd boyfriends in a cave. The Shrimad Bhagavatam tells how Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram killed the demon Dhenukasura and his companions, how Lord Balaram destroyed Pralambasura, and also how Krishna saved the cowherd boys from a raging forest fire that had encircled them. The chastisement of the serpent Kalya, the rescue of Nanda Maharaj from a great snake, the severe vows performed by the young gopis who thus satisfied Lord Krishna, the mercy he showed the wives of the Vedic Brahmins who felt remorse, the lifting of Govardhan Hill followed by the worship and bathing ceremony performed by Indra and the Surabhi cow,